The Michael Berry Show.
Lieutenant, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me. How are you doing this morning?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Doing great. I'm doing great.
Did you have to check with the chief if you could come on with me?
Yes, we do have to get permission to come on and do interviews and whatnot.
I know. I was with him at an event a few weeks ago, and I said, look, when I need my cops on, I need my cops on fast. I need you to issue a blanket statement that if they ask, they can come on my show. If Ray Hunt clears it, they can come on the show. Where were you and what happened? I think it's a great story. I'm so impressed with you.
Yes, indeed. It was the incident occurred last Thursday. We were at the restaurant Mexican Sugar.
Oh, where is that? I've heard about this, but I haven't been there yet.
It's located right off of West Dallas. It's a fairly new restaurant, if I'm correct.
West Dallas and what? I know you know because you're a cop and y'all always know the streets in the block.
It's let me look it up real quick.
Where are you looking it up?
It's off the 3500 block of West Dallas.
But what's the cross street? Like Taft or?
Dunleavy.
Oh, yeah, okay. And so are you with some other officers when this happens?
I was actually meeting with some fellow officers to have dinner. But
Okay.
as I was walking into the restaurant, I was by myself.
Were you in uniform?
They had already been, yes, I was in full uniform. They had already been seated and was waiting for me. I was actually running late. I had a late arrival.
You know there's a term for that.
And what is that term?
Well, you already know what it is. I can't say it. You can. It's CP time. Okay, so what time were you supposed to be
Definitely was running
there?
late.
What time were
I
you
was supposed to be there we were scheduled to be there at 5 o'clock.
And what time were you
And
rolling in?
I got about 5:30-ish.
Oh.
I was running significantly late.
Yes, obviously. Okay. Now you work evenings.
So
right?
not only was I running, correct. So I was also running late from the office and then got caught, of course, in rush hour traffic trying to make my way over there. So that played a big role in me running late.
Now, where do you work? Are you downtown?
Yes, I work downtown,
Okay.
downtown division.
All right. So you're walking in, and what happens?
As I'm being shown the table where my fellow officer is sitting at, as I'm crossing the table where Miss Torres is sitting at and her rest of her retirement party, I heard a very loud commotion. And at the moment, I couldn't really make out what was going on, so I kind of slowed down and began scanning the room. And that's where I noticed where her table was located. Several people were scrambling, chairs were being knocked over, and at that point, I still could not decipher what was going on, but I could tell that there was some type of situation that probably was going to call for me to take some type of action. And then shortly after, that's where I noticed Miss Torres. She had this face. She had this facial expression that I could tell she was just crying out for help, but no noise was coming out. And then I also began seeing her daughter, who I later came to find out was her daughter, performing the Heimlich on her, trying to perform the Heimlich. And I just managed to make my way through the crowd. There was a lot of people over there, a lot of people panicking, and I just managed to make my way over to her. I moved her daughter out the way, and I approached Miss Torres from the rear and began performing the Heimlich on her and managed to dislodge the large piece of meat that she had accidentally swallowed.
Could you tell what kind of meat it was?
At the moment, I thought it was a chicken breast, but I came to find out that it was a slice of steak.
Okay. And did it come all the way out onto the table or just dribble down?
No, it flew flat on the floor, and I didn't notice it originally. She turned around and tapped me before I performed.
She's like, enough.
Heimlich again. She was like, it's on the ground. It's on the ground. I'm good now.
I'm good.
breathing.
You can stop. How many pumps
Right.
How many pumps did it require to get it out?
So for me, I only attempted it twice, but I came to learn later on that there were three other individuals, her boyfriend, another individual that was standing by at the table that was identified, I guess, later as a lifeguard, and then her daughter, who is a nurse. So those three individuals all attempted prior to me making my attempt. So it was three other individuals before me. So four people actually performed the Heimlich on her before this food was dislodged. And she also informed me the situation was going on probably about 2 minutes prior
Oh,
to my arrival. Yes,
oh. What were they doing
she
wrong?
was
Were they
actually
up
choking for
too
about
high,
two
down
minutes.
too low? What do you suspect they were doing wrong? Obviously, you can't know.
Right. I don't know for certainty, but I think that a lot of it was because it was an emotional situation, emotional setting. Because both individuals, the lifeguard and her daughter, are both trained and have the skills to do this. I think the fact that this is, their mother and that this is someone they care about and love, that I think they just kind of were in a panic mode, which probably allowed them to not fully think about what they were doing, and it just kind of was more of an emotional response than them actually slowing down and taking the proper steps to perform the Heimlich.
Had you ever performed the Heimlich before live?
No, never in a real life situation. So this was the first time that I was able to use something, a skill set that I've learned over the course of my career, or and actually apply it in a real life scenario.
So when you go over to your table, your buds, who you're 30 minutes late for, what do they say?
They look at me and they say, "Hey, what happened over there?" And I just casually tell them, and then they're all like, "Wow, you saved a woman's life," and and whatnot. And they were very pleased to hear what happened. And then the response that we got, there were so many people that were either involved in Miss Torres's party or just in general at the restaurant that observed what happened. They came over to show gratitude and appreciation for what I had done.
Did she give you a big hug?
Yes, she did. She did.
I don't know if she's really tiny or you're really big, but the picture, I mean, you just like dwarf her, a lot bigger than her.
I
What a
think
what a
it's a
great
combination of both.
what a great story. That is well, first of all, thank you for saving a citizen's life. Thank you for being willing to engage. Thank goodness you were late, I guess. Huh.
Right. It was perfect timing.
I
God's
appreciate
timing for sure.
I appreciate you coming on. Let us love on you. Be safe out there. Thank you for serving and protecting. It's a great story, Jamal Martin. You should be very proud of yourself.
All right. Thank you.
That is honoring the badge. It makes every officer look good. The thing about it is you don't realize how many times in the course of a day an officer does a kindness and nobody knows. You know what I mean? They're out there doing something, helping somebody. It doesn't make a report. Nobody, if something bad goes down, okay. But how many times somebody does a nice thing? So every one of you HPD officers over voting on your contract today, y'all call Lieutenant Jamal Martin and razz him a little for being late, and thank God he was.